In this video, we'll talk about creating a question and answers in 4 easy steps. We will start by creating a question and answers. We will talk about how do you get your participants to participate in the question and answer session. We will talk about how participants enter questions, how do they vote on questions, and then also how to embed a Q&A in the mobile event app in case you are using that from Zwoor. So if you are using the mobile event app, we'll show you how to simply embed the Q&A, so it's very handy for your participants. To start with, how to create a question and answer thread. So let's say that at the end of your session you want to have a question and answers, and you don't want people to just show up hands and the strongest willed participant ask the questions, but you want to have some type of the best questions voted already by your participants. And what we do with this capability on mobile devices is exactly that. So you will have an audience code, and this code will come handy when we tell them how to start the question and answer sessions. You'll have a description, and then you also have a speaker code. We'll come back to that, and then a start date. The start date is handy to control when the Q&A session becomes available to your participants. So in this case is this February 9th, 2017, which is today's date. So I will create the code. Remember this AUD200. So let me click on that. So now we have created in the back in the database the question and answer capability. Now it doesn't contain any questions, as you can imagine. So what we'll do, we will go into the other window. So what you see here, this is a browser. So this can be a browser on anywhere from a PC, a Mac, a BlackBerry, or even an iPad. Or here is how this will look like on the iPhone 5, and this is an emulator that I'm using here. So let's enter this code, AUD200. You can see there is no question yet. So let's create a couple of questions. This is, let's say it's a session about starting a business in US. So I created my first question. Let's say I'm another participant and I want to ask a different question. So I'm asking that, and then one more, and we will be done. So here are the 3 questions. Let's say that I'm interested on this particular one. Let me enter the same code, UD200, over here, and now you can see that I do have the same view. Let's say that I want to vote for a different question. So now we have 2 questions that are top. What I'll do, I will go on my mobile device and I will enter the same code. Obviously you cannot see my phone on the screen, but I will enter there, and let's say that I want to vote on how to let investors know about my new venture, and that is the... So now we have this how to let investors know about my new venture as the top question to be answered, and the speaker will be able to answer that first because it's the most popular question. If you want to see how the speaker view looks like, let's see that. We come over here, we enter the speaker view, and the speaker view will have some different dimensions. So you see the questions, he can mark it as answered, and in that case it's answered. You don't need to worry about that anymore. You can hide it as well. So you can go through this, you can project this on the screen as you go through the questions. It's a nice screen for the speaker to keep track of the order of answering questions and mark them as answered. So everybody can keep track of that. One last thing that I wanted to talk about is how to embed a Q&A on the mobile event app. So what you see here is there is a URL for this Q&A, and what you can simply do, let's say that we have already an event, and that event is contains an agenda item, how to start a business in US. Part of the materials, you can type the URL for the question and answers, and now you have Q&A session. Let's say we'll give it the title, and see if I can save here. So now we have a Q&A session. So when your users go to this event, to this particular agenda item, then they will be able to see the Q&A session and start the Q&A sessions right from the mobile app. So we've talked about how to create a Q&A, participant instructions, maybe a bit more on that. So on the participant instructions, you either give them the code of q.zwoor.com, so this particular URL, and then you give them the code. You can give them a QR code, or you can give them the URL, the full URL. It might be a bit harder to remember all that. So our reco is give them the q.zwoor.com. Make sure that you have easy code here. You can edit the code for the audience, and that will be the easiest for them to do. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you very much.